The IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships on the line as Tetsuya Naito defended his gold versus the Bullet Club's Kenta. Dude,
like that.
This was your typical New Japan main event in the best way.
When I sit there and say I watched Hiromu Takahashi versus Ryu, I'm just gonna call me Bruce Pritchard going forward. All right, Pacey.
The worst teeth.
Every time you hit a mistake, I hit play for a few seconds.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I watched that, and then I watched Moxley and Suzuki, and I'm like, nothing can get better. And we get Tetsuya Naito and Kenta, and holy shit on this match. Holy shit on this match. Wow.
Jesus Christ. I can't wait for part 2 and 3. There better be a part 2 and 3.
Oh, there's finna be. We know it. Because, come on, Tetsuya has to lose one of those titles.
Yeah.
He's not going to lose them both, and I hope he doesn't. And I don't want them to merge them, because there's other titles they could get rid of before the Intercontinental, easily.
Yeah.
So I want him to lose one, and actually, surprisingly, I think it'd be good for him to lose the IWGP before the Intercontinental, just because you don't see it coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool for him to actually lose that one first.
Yeah, I can see there'd be some stipulation, like maybe Naito wins twice, and then Kenta's like, no, I get another one, and Naito's like, no, you only get a shot at one of them, or something.
Right, and he ends up winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Or what if it's like a ladder match, and they both climb up the ladder, and each one grabs the championship?
Oh, that would be badass, Pasty.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, shit.
I think that's the way you go. There's a part 3 for you.
Wow. I'm super excited for that match, Pasty. Wow. Okay. But besides that, first of all, right off the bat, Kenta got heat on this one. He kept rolling out of the ring. We love it. Of course, they kicked the Bullet Club out right off the bat. They were like, get the fuck out of here. Tetsuya Naito came out by himself. Kenta came out with the whole Bullet Club. We get it. What else did we have? Switchblade Jay White did end up coming out, but then we had Bushi come in. Made the save. Hiromu Takahashi, after his hard-hitting fucking wild match, he came out, got one of the biggest pops of the fucking night when he came out there, whooped the shit out of Jay White, took him out to the back. We loved that. Kenta ended up exposing the turnbuckles, putting Naito head first into there. Naito did I don't think it's the hard way, but I think he did a really shitty blade job.
Yeah.
Anyways, he bled to fuck. Like, he bled like he shouldn't have bled.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Wow.
Ric Flair style.
Ric Flair bleeding, exactly. It was
I cut the big ass one right here, right?
Yeah, it looked good to us watching, but when you're watching just as somebody who's trying to follow the
you don't need to do that.
The art of it, it's like, holy shit. We don't think that wasn't meant to happen. Anyways, through all that, Naito still picked up the win. It was awesome. But to end the show, Naito got on the mic and called out Hiromu Takahashi. And he challenged him to a match on the 48th anniversary show, and Takahashi accepted. So, holy shit. Naito's a very slow-paced, in the ring, mat wrestling, psychology-based wrestler. Takahashi's a very high-octane, off-the-top rope, and the outside kind of wrestler. This is going to be a fun match.
Yeah.
It's either going to be really great or really bad, or in the middle, and that's
what if Naito wins the junior heavyweight championship?
Yeah, right now they're billing it as champion versus champion, but they're not literally saying championship.
They didn't say it either.
Championship. So it's like, they're saying champion versus champion, but they're not saying that all the championships are on the line, so I'm not sure what's happening with it. Nonetheless, I'm excited for it. This pay-per-view, really, really just, I loved it. I got very little negative to say about it, other than I will say that New Japan, and I don't know how to do this going forward, Pacey. New Japan gives me a reason to not want to watch the first half. Now, I almost see that as a positive, because WWE sometimes will put like some of the best matches right away, and then shitty matches for the next 4, and then give you main events. And it's almost like, hey, let us decide. Do we want to see all the wrestlers, or do we want to see what matters to us?
Yeah.
It's hard to grade matches when I only want to watch half of it. But I don't want to watch any WWE. I want to watch all of Impact, and it's like, I don't know. I gave it an A. I look at it as this. The matches I watched were every single one was an A+ or above. And if I know anything about New Japan's 8-man tag matches, they're enjoyable to watch. So I'm giving it an A. I don't know. I don't know what we need to do going forward to try to compensate for some of this.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm giving it. Fuck anybody who has a disagreement.
From what I saw, I'm right there on the board with you.
Just an average A?
Yeah. If anything, maybe I'd say because I didn't see, half of it, drop it to a B+, but maybe that's not fair to the rest of the card either.
Yeah, that's just assuming that the rest of it were all bad.
I know if I would have watched the whole thing, I would have been entertained. But by the time I got into the meat and potatoes of it, it was fucking AEW day. So it's like, shit, I gotta watch all this other stuff now. And I'm still trying to get back and watch the Jimmy Havoc barbed wire rope match.
Right. So what did you put as the best match of the night, do you think, of what you watched?
I paid the most attention to Moxley Suzuki. And so I want to say that. But it was all really good.
All right. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that because, like I said, the 3 matches that are in contendership for the best are easily Takahashi Lee, Moxley Suzuki, and Naito Kenta. Uh-huh. And all 3 of them are 100% different types of pro wrestling matches. It's almost, what did you want to watch at that time? What were you feeling at that time? Mm-hmm. I mean, there isn't a real answer. So we'll go with US for you.
Us.
Because it isn't.
My
they were
favorite.
All 3 of those matches are completely different. Not even close to the same.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? All right.
It was a good time.
It was the best of times.
But you know what that means? It is time for us to get into this week's super tiny short edition of the Savage Sentinel.
It's a Savage.
And we're even going to cut the theme song short right there for you folks, too, to make the point.
Yeah.
Coming in at the top, Ring of Honor announced that the Women of Honor title is changing to the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. A tournament is going to decide a new champion and will start at Quest for Gold on April 24th. 8 first-round matches will go down at the show. Participants have yet to be announced. The original title also crowned a champion through a tournament, which was Sumi Sakai back in April of 2018 at Supercard of Honor. Kelly Klein was the last Women of Honor champion, but parted ways with the company at the end of the year. Other women to hold this title in its short lifespan were Mayu Iwatani and Angelina Love. It's looking good. I like Women's World Championship. It sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean, obviously they have their own Women of Honor show, but I think it's... women. It just makes them a world champion. It puts them on equal footing. It's okay. And again, this is a
it's
fairly
keeping up
new
with the
title.
Joneses, really, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is. And by the way, we don't have this on the news, but let's just say it right now. We've talked about, again, we've never had this on the news because there's never been a real news story about it, but so many people have talked about it. You and I have talked about it on the show, off the show.
Around the show.
Yeah, around the show, exactly. We're around it, everything. But again, they've come out and said that they are not removing women's from any of the championships in WWE. That was just something that people started talking about, and
Becky said one thing, and everybody blew the fuck up.
Yeah, basically Triple H has said, and I agree with this. He said, when it comes out there and they say it's going to be a women's championship match, and they show the picture of the women's championship, and then it literally says in font, women's championship match. You don't really have to say that. You can just say, oh, Becky Lynch is defending her championship against. So it was never like we're eliminating the word women's from it. So I think it's a good point to just put that in there. Let's dispel the rumors. They're not eliminating the word women's from anything. They're just saying that you don't specifically have to say it every time you mention it. Okay, good. Let's go. MLW announced they have signed a content agreement with Webedia to broadcast their flagship series, MLW Fusion Pasty. One of our favorites.
Yes, indeed.
Fusion began airing on Webedia Monday at 2100 hours Paris time.
If 2100, I gotta hit play on myself.
Bruce Pritchard, baby.
The worst teeth life of my life.
Exactly.
As if 2100 hours wasn't confusing enough. Try doing that with Paris time.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And the streaming platform will continue to air first-run episodes each Monday night at 2100 following.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. They deserve to grow. They deserve to get out there.
It feels like every day we're talking more and more about
Webedia does
MLW.
not sound like a television channel.
I don't think it is. I think I know it's
service?
a streaming. Yeah, it's a streaming service. But let's be honest.
Is it a paid streaming service? Because it's already on YouTube.
That I don't know. But we know that it's on YouTube in France, though.
Yeah.
Remember, there are different. Hey, look at it this way. Studio Ghibli, all of their movies are in every country on Netflix except for the United States and Japan.
Yeah.
Like you cocksuckers. But that's because Disney owns the rights to them in those countries. So,
and I can't watch my Doctor Who in America anymore because the British are dicks.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, very few people, especially globally, are using cable. It's mostly all streaming.
Huh.
But it just seems like every week we hear more and more about MLW expanding, and I'm just so excited about it. I feel like they're the little guys that are just going to come and burst up. And they might always be third place, but I feel like they're just always going to be third place. Like, ECW came up between 95 and 99, and they were third place. That's 4 years of
you
the...
You need a third place, otherwise what happens to everybody behind that?
Exactly. And ECW, it's like, that was a short period of time that they were third place. I just feel like MLW is just always going to be there. And they're like, you know what? We're always going to be your third place.
Yeah.
If for people like Fat Mac who aren't going to watch WWE, we're here for you. For people who don't want to put up with AEW's indecisiveness, we're here for you. For people who don't want to put up with Impact's backstage bullshit, we're here for you. For people who want a little better production value than NWA, we're here for you. Like, they just always seem like they're just right there, right? They're the Bernie Sanders of pro wrestling. They're just there for you. They're not the best option, but they're there for you.
Not even close.
No, but they're there.
Probably the third best option, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that what I just said? It's a third place option for you. It's